Hey everybody, John from Movie Burners here, back with another movie review, and today I'm going to be discussing what is now one of my all-time favourite western films. Now, I've admitted before that I'm a massive fan of the western genre, particularly the spaghetti western trilogy, and yet I was somehow very late to the party with Tombstone, which was released in 1993. I only watched this film about 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm not entirely sure how that happened. And it's a burning question which has etched itself into my mind ever since watching it. This film blew my mind with just how good it was. It's just phenomenally well written, and it has an excellent cast of actors and actresses. What I enjoyed most about it, besides the highly memorable and infinitely quotable dialogue, or even the bursts of sporadic wild action, was in my mind at least the trio of arcs that ran synchronously throughout. Also, you have Wyatt Earp, played by Kurt Russell, facing an existential crisis after hanging up his deputy sheriff badge and seeking out a new life in the silver rush town of Tombstone with his brothers, Virgil, played by Sam Elliott, and Morgan, played by Bill Paxton. Secondly, you have the side arc involving Doc Holliday, played by Val Kilmer, and the dance with death he has with both tuberculosis, the Clanton-led cowboys, and Johnny Ringo, played by Michael Biehn in particular. And finally, the wider arc which inevitably pits the brothers and Holliday against the cowboys within Tombstone and further afield. George P. Cosmats and Kevin Jarre deserve immense credit for the ease in which all these things occur organically and simultaneously, with each arc being given its fair share of attention, development, and ultimately brought to a satisfying conclusion. And I thought the story was engrossing, and I was emotionally invested in the Earp brothers and Holliday from start to finish. Speaking of a story, I'll try to summarise it in a way that doesn't spoil anything for someone that might have not seen it yet, although I am fully aware that the film has been released for over 25 years now. In short, this film is primarily about Wyatt Earp's journey. It begins with his departure from a distinguished law enforcement career as a deputy sheriff and his attempt to find a more enjoyable, financially prosperous life with his brothers. Life is very rarely that simple, however, and with a disinterested opium addict wife and the town of Tombstone packed with low-life outlaws, cowboys and a spineless sheriff, it's not long before trouble begins to brew. Amongst this is the alluring figure of Josephine Marcus, played by Dana Delaney, whose continued presence throughout and free-spirited ideology on life quickly leaves Wyatt spellbound. He finds himself torn between his old life, when his brothers become marshals, resolving to help in dealing with the outlaws and the trouble in the town, and the preferable, potentially fresh start with Josephine. That is what this film is supposed to be primarily about. Mr. Val Kilmer has something else to say about that though. What can I say about that man's performance in this film? Firstly, I find it absolutely astonishing that he never won an Oscar for this portrayal. A portrayal which most people familiar with the history of the real Doc Holliday seem to agree is the most faithful interpretation to date. From his character's memorable, often drunken delivery of dialogue, with an authentic southern drawl, to his scarily, genuinely realistic portrayal of a man dying with tuberculosis. He provides laughs, action, and steals the show from everyone else in the film. It's easily one of the best acting performances I've seen in a long time. That's not to say that the rest aren't decent either though, because they definitely are. Indeed, there's quite a few very good performances in this film. Stephen Lang, Dana Delaney, Bill Paxton, Sam Elliott, Powers Booth are all very good to excellent, and Kurt Russell is fantastic as ever in his role as Wyatt. And whilst I'm discussing the performances, I'll also give some shout outs to Michael Rooker and also Charlton Heston, who's in there for a brief cameo as well. From a visual perspective, the film has a real retro vibe to it, and it's just gorgeously shot. It could genuinely have been filmed in the 60s or the 70s and not looked out of place. There's so many stunning scenic wide shots and the cool little close-up cuts to the actors during standoffs or moments of tension. It was nicely done and really effective. The whole cinematography in general was just perfect for me, so take a bow, William A. Fracker. It would be remiss of me not to mention the set and costume designs too, which were all on the money. Musically, I loved the score in this film too. Again, much like the visuals, it was like a classic western score, and it married well with everything happening in the film. It's not very often that I watch a film and deem it something of a classic. This film is without a doubt in that category though. It has all the components to propel it to that standard, Leading actors and overall ensemble performances are fantastic. It's got some great dialogue, excellent bursts of action, sandwiched between deeper, more reflective moments, and the story is engaging and highly entertaining too. It has incredible visuals and its score is brilliant too. And it also has subtle little moments of brilliance, like for example Doc's clear analysis of Johnny Ringo's draw speed during their first encounter, and the way he clearly uses that to his advantage later on in the film when they have a showdown. And I have an appreciation for small details of that ilk. I can't really pick any faults with this film, apart from maybe the embellishing of the truth and its portrayal of certain events, but this isn't really a criticism as such because it will always happen in films anyway. Now, I would have absolutely no hesitation in recommending this film to anybody that hasn't seen it. It deserves to be watched for Val Kilmer's outstanding performance alone, and even if you aren't a massive fan of the western genre, this film will still entertain you. It is that good. I'll be giving it a 5 out of 5 because for me it is perfection. Remember guys, if you're enjoying the content we're putting out, then be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, and give us a little follow on Facebook at Movie Burner Entertainment and on Twitter at Movie Burners. You can also catch up with all the latest reviews we're putting out at the Movie Burner blog on movieburnerentertainment.org. Until the next time, goodbye.